Okay, good morning. Yesterday, Tuesday, April 14th, 2026, Pam Bondi ignored her subpoena to appear before the House Committee on Government Oversight and Government Reform. Unsurprisingly. Today we're going to call Representative Robert Garcia of the California 42nd, and as he is the ranking Democrat on the committee. Just to be clear, once Pam Bondi was fired by President Trump as Attorney General, she was still on the hook for Epstein testimony. So this is from April 8th, this Politico article. James Comer, who is the chairman of the committee, issued the subpoena last month after 5 of the Republican lawmakers on the committee joined with Democrats to compel Ms. Bondi's testimony, championed by none other than Nancy Mace of South Carolina. The DOJ requested that the subpoena be withdrawn. It was not withdrawn. Congressman Garcia, the representative who we are calling today, accused Bondi of trying to get out of her legal obligation to testify. She must come testify immediately, and if she defies the subpoena, we will begin contempt charges in Congress. The survivors deserve justice. Oversight Dems argue that despite Bondi's departure from the Justice Department, she must still answer lawmakers' questions. A committee spokesperson said last week that Comer would confer with his Republican members and the Justice Department about next steps. So, as it stands, she ignored a congressional subpoena. If you or I did that, we'd already be in handcuffs. But these people all get to do whatever the hell they want all the time. Subsequently, Pam Bondi could face contempt charges over Epstein testimony after failing to show up for the deposition. Garcia said on Tuesday, after she failed to appear, that the former Attorney General is evading a lawful congressional subpoena. The subpoena applies to her regardless of her title. She must appear before the committee, and if she continues to ignore the law, oversight Democrats will move forward with contempt proceedings immediately. We will fight until there is true accountability and justice. Republican Rep. Nancy Mace and Democrat Ro Khanna, both members on the committee, also sent a letter to James Comer stressing that Bondi remains obligated to appear before the committee. The removal of Pam Bondi as Attorney General does not diminish the committee's legitimate oversight interests in seeking her sworn testimony or the need for accountability and information about files withheld from the public by the DOJ. On the contrary, it makes her sworn testimony even more important, especially with respect to actions she took as Attorney General, matters already under investigation, and decisions made under her leadership. So just as a reminder, with regard to the Epstein files and Pam Bondi's role in this cover-up, about a year ago, President Donald Trump campaigned on releasing the Epstein files. He got into office, and much like the wars that he was going to end on day one, he did not have the files released. A few months later, Pam Bondi and her team of people said, "Oh, the files are on my desk, I'm reviewing them." And then a staged photo op was held at the White House with a bunch of podcasters and MAGA influencer children holding binders that said Epstein files on them, but I guess were just empty. Because a few months after that, Pam Bondi parroted the president in saying that the files are a hoax. There are no files. There is no list. A few months after that, Congress passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act. In the course of testimonies getting that passed, Kash Patel said if there had been evidence of other people other than Epstein and Maxwell, who were allegedly at the time dead and in prison, being involved in sex trafficking, they would have been prosecuted by his FBI already. The Epstein Files Transparency Act passes, and lo and behold, there's plenty of other people listed in the files. Pam Bondi then testified and refused to look at Epstein's survivors who showed up in Congress that day. She waxed Dow being above 50,000, which has nothing to do with anything, and just was like kind of a huge bitch the whole day. This is what I'm tired of. Rep Chantal on Threads 16 hours ago. If Pam Bondi continues to evade the law and refuse to testify like she did today, then my colleagues and I will move forward with contempt proceedings. Rep Stansberry. Bondi was subpoenaed to appear before the Oversight Committee today. This was not a pretty please. This was a legally binding congressional subpoena. If she does not make arrangements to appear immediately, we will move to hold her in contempt. Garcia went on TV, didn't show up for her hearing today. We're going to begin contempt proceedings. I want to know that they're actually doing it, because time and time and time again, these people, I'm gonna start contempt charges. I'm gonna read the names of the Epstein list on the House floor. We can't, what did I call? I called Jeffries the other day because he keeps tweeting things like, this cannot stand. And then they don't actually follow through on any of the things that they say in press releases, on social media, or on television. So I'm calling Robert Garcia to ask if he will today call for a vote to charge Pam Bondi with contempt of Congress. Contempt of Congress is, none of these things have like a lot of practical effect, I gotta be honest with you. But just to kind of give you an idea of it, they can vote to charge her with contempt of Congress, and the DOJ can, and in this case likely will, decline to prosecute, which sucks, but at least Congress will have shown that they have some spine left. So let's call Garcia. I was hung up on. Hi, good morning. I am calling from the New Jersey 8th. I am calling about the lack of Pam Bondi's deposition yesterday. I saw that Congressman Garcia, has called for, or has at least stated on television, in a press conference, and on social media that she should be held in contempt. Obviously, she, as Attorney General and in her role in the administration, was meant to testify about her handling of the Epstein files, and which is the largest criminal cover-up of child sex trafficking in modern history. So I can only assume that today, not tomorrow, not in a week, not after giving her yet another chance, that the congressman is going to make a motion to file contempt charges against her. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that something that's in development right now, but that is the intent. She will, testify in front of the committee.
Right, but so is he going to move for contempt charges?
I'm not sure about like the back end of when that's going to happen, but I can definitely tell you that it will happen.
Okay, I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I like him, but this is every single one of these guys routinely says things like, "We're gonna file charges. I'm gonna read the names of the abusers on the House floor," and then nobody actually does anything, and the American people are sick and tired of it. And every time these guys do this, the Democrats at large, every time Schumer writes a strongly worded letter, every time Jeffries goes online and says something must be done to stop this madman, they are putting another nail in their own coffins come election time and come like the opinion of the American people. Because Jeffries is right. This must be stopped. You guys voted on the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and the administration has completely ignored it. Pam Bondi has lied. Kash Patel has lied. Todd Blanche just shrugs it off and thinks it's not a problem. And the president wants it to just go away and has started a war in Iran to cover it up. So they need to get it together and actually do the things that they are telling the American people regularly. They are telling the American people they're going to do these things, and then they think we won't notice when they don't do it.
Yes, I will definitely pass that along. But thank you for calling about that.
All right. Thank you so much. You have a good day. Okay. Just hang up on me. I mean, like, I'm not mad at this child worker in the office, but like, I am, because I'm sick of these people doing this, saying this stuff to us, and then nothing happens, and nobody in any of these congressional offices seems to have an answer to a question. Not a single person that has answered the phone, other than somebody called me back from Andy Kim's office a few weeks ago, saying that he would not, affirming that he would not be voting to confirm Marquane Mullen. And one other person gave me an affirmative answer. I don't remember who it was, but I either get a voicemail or I get somebody that's just, I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know anything about that. What are they all so busy doing? You had 2 weeks off. The second day back, Pam Bondi was supposed to appear. She didn't appear. You've been talking about it for weeks. Hold her in contempt. File the motion today. I understand that it might take a couple of days to actually get on the docket because, again, you're in the minority. File the motion today. There is no more excuses. Do your job. Call your representatives.